guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these super cute scrunchy key fobs. How absolutely adorable are these? I'm obsessed with these. They're so cute, and you could totally make a matching scrunchie, which is what I actually did to match. So I'm gonna have, of course, the pattern and the measurements over at the blog, so that's gonna be all in the description box, as well as any of the hardware that I use throughout this video. So if you're interested in learning how to make this, stick around. If you're looking for a tutorial on how to make one of these, I also have a tutorial just for your basic key fob hardware, or holder, so I'll have that also in the description box or in the comment section. So without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. So for this tutorial, you're going to need a strip of fabric, and all the measurements will be over at the blog post. And there will also be a PDF download that you can purchase if you want to have your own step-by-step instructions for yourself. Also some 1-inch elastic, and then your keychain hardware, which is like key fob hardware. So this will be linked in the down below description box, comment section, if you want to get your hands on these. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is prepare our fabric. So I'm just going to set those two things to the side. I'm going to get my ironing board out, and I'm going to fold down these short sides about 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to do that to the other side. And then I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm going to fold it with the right sides together. And I'm not necessarily going to sew or press the whole thing, but I'm definitely going to press just the ends because I want to make sure that this doesn't move. I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to mark 1 inch. Now I need one that actually shows color so that you can see. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And I'm just measuring that 1 inch from the fold. That's just a mark so we know where to go. So when we sew, we're actually going to be sewing from here, and then we're going to be going up, and then we're going to be doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance here. So I'm kind of just gonna do like that, because we want this part to measure 1 inch, and that's going to fit the key fob. But we're going to make it nice and wide so we have a nice wide scrunchy wristband. So you might not need to actually trace it out. You can kind of just start here and then just kind of veer with your machine. But if you want to trace it out, you're welcome to do so. Just make sure you are 1/4 inch along the majority, and then when you get to the other side, you're just going to, again, when you got your 1/4 inch, you can just kind of veer down to that 1 inch mark like that. Okay, so now we're just going to do, like I said, from that 1 inch, go up 1/4 inch all the way down, and then back down to that 1 inch mark here. Okay, so I'm going to put it into the sewing machine, lining up our needle with that 1 inch mark, back and forth to lock our stitches, and then we're just going to kind of veer up till we get to a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then we'll finish it off. Okay, so now I'm going to take my pinking shears, because I'm using cotton and cotton is a woven fabric. I'm just going to snip off the edges, and this is just going to help to prevent further fraying. Okay, now from here we're going to flip it right sides out. So it might be a little trickier because these openings obviously are a little bit smaller. So we're just going to take, well, I like to use this tool. It kind of has a little hook here. Kind of looks like one of those like hook rug type deals. It's long, and I really love these. So I'll have the link in the description if you want to get your hands on one of these. So basically I just go all the way in, and then I'll hook that little hook onto the edge of the fabric, and then I just pull it through. Works really well. If not, then you can use like a safety pin, put that on the end, and then just kind of finagle it back through. Okay, so then I'm going to get my ironing board again, and I like to get a knitting needle, and I like to put that on the inside and kind of push out the seam so I have an easier time ironing. Try to make that nice and make sure that those the folded hem is on the inside. I didn't bother hemming or sewing a seam there just because that part is going to be on the inside of the key fob hardware. So just kind of making sure that it's tucked in nicely is really all it needs. And then just go on the other side. Just kind of push the seams. Seem to have a lot of fraying going on. Okay, so now we're going to grab our wide elastic, and we are going to use the same tool, and we're going to go slip it inside and gather it all down. That's why I really like this tool, because it really makes making these easier. But again, you can take a safety pin and put that on the end of your elastic and then feed it through. So I'm going to try to make it go nice and straight into the fabric. We want it to be flat, and we don't want it to twist. And when we get the end lined up with the end, I'm going to take a clip, and you can sew that too if you want to just tack it quickly if you're already at the sewing machine. I'm just going to put a clip there, and then I'm just going to gather the fabric until the other side of the elastic comes out, and then I'm going to line up the edge of that with the edge of the elastic, and then we'll put a clip there. So you can see the gather of the scrunchie, super cute. So we're gonna go over to the sewing machine and we're gonna finish it up. I am using this is a tool that I got off of Amazon for the key fob hardware. You can actually buy this, and sometimes they come with this, so you can just find a little kit. I'll have a link for this set in the description box, but you don't need to only make these types of things. I make just regular key fob hardware, so if you want to find this tutorial also, I'll link that down below. But these are a cute little set to have together. But yeah, we're gonna go over the sewing machine and then we'll finish it up. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take the clips off and I'm going to slip this underneath my sewing machine, and I'm going to just baste these two ends together. It doesn't need to be beautiful. I'm going to cut off my threads. Hopefully you didn't hear my kids. There they are. Just cutting off that elastic. It's a little long. And then we're going to I'm going to take my little keyfob hardware thing. I don't know what it's called. Pliers. Yes. I'm going to take the hardware and I'm going to put that inside. And with these little rubber guys, it kind of prevent it from moving around. So I kind of clamped down and now it's stuck there. And then I'm just going to push the fabric all the way in. And if you do have a fabric that has a right or wrong side, there's little prongs in there, so that would be the back of the fob hardware. So I would put the nice side, but since this is lemons, it's all pretty much the same all the way around. And then I'm just going to start to clamp. I clamp a little bit and then just see. And then once I feel confident, I give it a good squeeze like that. And then you can kind of just iron out the gather, or even it out, I mean. And here you go. How adorable is this? And if you prefer to have more gathered fabric, you can make your strips longer, or if you want it a little wider, you can make it wider. So it's really up to you what you want. I find this is a really good kind of happy medium. I really like this one. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this quick little tutorial and hope you give it a try. If you do, of course, come over to Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and share it with all of us. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye guys.